Good afternoon. Welcome to the Midday Mull for Friday, the 27th of January. With Robert Murray McShane, we continue reading through Genesis, and today we read chapter 28, the continuing story of Jacob. He's heading off to his mother's family because she says she doesn't want him to take a wife locally, and he's also escaping from his brother Esau, who's threatened to kill him. Picking up at verse 10, we read, Jacob left Beersheba and set out for Haran. When he reached a certain place, he stopped for the night, because the sun had set. Taking one of the stones there, he put it under his head and lay down to sleep. He had a dream in which he saw a stairway resting on the earth, with its top reaching to heaven, and the angels of God were ascending and descending on it. Now that's an interesting little bit of story, because when you look at it, Jacob had stopped there for entirely practical reasons. He hadn't stopped and thought, oh, this looks like a holy place, or this looks like the kind of good and peaceful place that God might be at. This looks like a place where a church should be. He stopped because it was getting dark. The sun had set, and he thought, I better stop. I can't keep going. Entirely practical. And yet, that's where he encounters God and he sees this vision. And sometimes we think that God is restricted in terms of place and things that we do. And we have to go to a specific place to meet with God or to pray. Now, places are useful, and certainly a quiet, beautiful church moves your spirit. Like all sort of, there's beauty in so many things that can touch your soul. And there's certain places in the wild, in the Kruger Park, there's one or two roads that I love driving down because there's just a feel about them. We recognize that. And sometimes that can be useful to pray in a certain place. You just have a feel that, a sense that that's a place and God meets you there. And there are people that do various things to help that. And I know of people that during their prayers, they will light a candle as a symbol and a reminder to them that you have Christ the light present with you as you pray. And it's a very useful thing for that purpose. But if they get to the point where they're going to say their prayers and they can't find the candle, and suddenly there's a panic and they spend half an hour searching for a candle rather than praying, then they've missed the point. And we very easily do that. And so yes, we use beauty, we use what God gives us to move our hearts and minds, to help us focus, to aid us in our prayers. But we need to recognize that God isn't limited by our limitations. And while they might be useful, they're not the be-all and the end-all. And God will meet us in places that we do not expect. And God will come to us and we will encounter him when we're doing things that are not particularly religious. God is everywhere and he's with us always. And we need to remember that. So that, like with Jacob, as we go through life, as we're on our journey of life and we stop someplace just because we've got to stop, it's getting dark, we need to be open to God meeting us there. So I pray that as you go through this day, you'll suddenly realize God is there and God is with you. Be blessed.